Have you ever said or done something in the heat of the moment and regretted it instantly? You're not alone. Our emotions can hijack us in seconds. Anger, fear, jealousy, anxiety. They rise like storms, and before we know it, we've reacted, lashed out, or shut down. But what if I told you there's an ancient practice that trains your mind to stay calm, even in chaos? A method tested by monks for 2,500 years and now backed by neuroscience. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how Buddhist wisdom can help you stop being ruled by your emotions and instead respond with peace, clarity, and power. These are not abstract teachings. They're practical tools. They've helped millions, and they can help you too. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear might just change how you live the rest of your life. In our modern world, emotions often feel like powerful waves crashing over us without warning. One moment we're peaceful, the next we're swept away by anger, fear, or desire. According to Buddhist wisdom, this emotional roller coaster isn't inevitable. It's simply what happens when we haven't yet learned the art of emotional mastery. At the heart of Buddhism lies a profound understanding. Suffering comes not from external events, but from our responses to them. The Buddha taught that our minds create our reality. When we change how we relate to our emotions, we change our entire experience of life. Let's start with a simple truth. Emotions themselves aren't the enemy. Buddhism doesn't teach suppression of feelings. Quite the opposite. The goal is to develop awareness of our emotions without being controlled by them. Think of it like watching clouds pass across the sky. You can observe them without becoming the storm. The first step toward emotional mastery is mindfulness, the practice of present moment awareness without judgment. When an emotion arises, try this. Instead of immediately reacting, pause. Notice the physical sensations in your body. Is there tightness in your chest? A knot in your stomach? Simply observing these sensations creates a tiny space between the feeling and your reaction. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, already late for an important meeting. Frustration builds. Your heart races, your jaw clenches. The ordinary response would be to let this anger consume you, perhaps honking, cursing, or stewing in misery. The mindful approach? Recognize, here's anger arising. Notice the physical sensations. Breathe into them. This simple act of recognition can prevent the emotion from hijacking your behavior. Buddhist psychology identifies the second arrow concept. The first arrow is the unavoidable pain of life, disappointments, losses, physical discomfort. The second arrow is our reaction to that pain, the stories we tell ourselves, the resistance, the why me. This second arrow is optional, and learning to avoid it is key to emotional freedom. Consider this example. You receive criticism at work. The first arrow is the simple fact of the criticism. The second arrow might be thoughts like, I'm a failure, my boss hates me, or I'll never succeed. By recognizing these thoughts as just thoughts, not reality, you can experience the first arrow without shooting yourself with the second. Regular meditation practice is fundamental to emotional mastery. Even 5 minutes daily can begin to transform your relationship with your feelings. In meditation, we practice returning to the present moment again and again, training the mind like a muscle. Over time, we develop the ability to be with difficult emotions without being overwhelmed. The Buddha taught a specific meditation called metta, or loving kindness. This practice involves directing good wishes toward yourself and others. May I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be free from suffering. Research shows that loving kindness meditation actually changes the brain, increasing positive emotions and compassion while decreasing the negativity bias. Try this exercise. When a difficult emotion arises, place your hand on your heart. Speak to yourself with the kindness you'd offer a dear friend. This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment. This simple practice of self-compassion can transform how you experience emotional pain. Central to Buddhist psychology is understanding impermanence. Every emotion, no matter how intense, will eventually pass. When you're in the grip of strong feelings, remember this truth. This too shall pass. Nothing, not rage, grief, anxiety, or even joy, remains forever. By recognizing the temporary nature of emotions, we can hold them more lightly. Another powerful tool is the practice of naming emotions. When you feel overwhelmed, simply labeling the emotion, anger, fear, sadness, can reduce its intensity. Neuroscience confirms that naming emotions activates the prefrontal cortex, the rational brain, and calms the amygdala, the emotional center. Consider this scenario. You're having a heated argument with a loved one. Emotions are escalating. By pausing to silently note anger rising or feeling defensive, you create space between stimulus and response. In that space lies your freedom to choose a more skillful reaction. Buddhism teaches that our emotions often stem from three root causes: greed, wanting what we don't have; aversion, rejecting what is present; and delusion, misperceiving reality. By recognizing which root cause is operating, we gain insight into our emotional patterns. For example, jealousy arises from greed, wanting something others have. Anger often comes from aversion, rejecting the present moment. Anxiety frequently stems from delusion, catastrophizing about a future that exists only in our imagination. Seeing these connections helps us work with emotions at their source. The Buddhist concept of the middle way applies perfectly to emotional management. We neither suppress our feelings, which only pushes them underground, nor indulge them, which strengthens their power over us. Instead, we acknowledge emotions with mindful awareness, neither pushing them away nor getting lost in their stories. Imagine emotions as visitors to the house of your mind. You can acknowledge them, perhaps even offer them tea, but you don't need to let them move in and rearrange your furniture. They are temporary guests, not permanent residents. Physical practices are equally important in emotional regulation. The breath is a powerful tool always available to us. When emotions run high, try this. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. This longer exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system, naturally calming the body and mind. Movement can also help process emotions. Many Buddhist traditions incorporate walking meditation or mindful movement practices. When you feel emotionally charged, try taking a walk with awareness of each step, feeling your feet connect with the earth. This grounds excess emotional energy and returns you to the present moment. Our habits of thinking directly influence our emotional patterns. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of right understanding and right thought, two aspects of the Noble Eightfold Path. By cultivating wholesome thoughts based in reality rather than distortion, we naturally experience more balanced emotions. Consider negative thought patterns like catastrophizing, "This is the worst thing ever," personalizing, "This is all my fault," or black and white thinking, "I'm either perfect or worthless." These thought habits fuel emotional suffering. By recognizing and gently questioning these patterns, we can choose more balanced perspectives. A powerful practice from Buddhist psychology is R.A.I.N. Recognize the emotion, allow it to be present, investigate with curiosity, and nurture yourself with compassion. This 4-step process transforms how we relate to difficult feelings. Let's apply R.A.I.N to anxiety. First, recognize anxiety is present. Second, allow it rather than fighting it. I can be with this feeling. Third, investigate with kindness. Where do I feel this in my body? What thoughts accompany it? Finally, nurture yourself. May I be kind to myself in this difficult moment. Buddhism recognizes that our perceptions often create our emotions. Two people can experience the same event completely differently based on their perception. By developing awareness of how we interpret events, we gain the power to choose different perspectives. For instance, being cut off in traffic could trigger rage if perceived as a personal insult, mild annoyance if seen as someone else's carelessness, or even compassion if viewed as someone possibly rushing to an emergency. The event remains the same, only our perception changes. The practice of gratitude acts as a powerful antidote to negative emotions. Each day, take time to notice what you're grateful for. This simple shift in attention retrains the mind, which naturally tends toward negativity. Research confirms that regular gratitude practice increases happiness and emotional resilience. Our social connections significantly impact our emotional well-being. Buddhism emphasizes compassion and loving kindness toward all beings. By cultivating genuine care for others, we actually strengthen our own emotional stability. When we extend beyond self-focus, many personal emotional struggles naturally diminish. Try this. When caught in difficult emotions, ask, how can my experience help me understand others better? If you're experiencing grief, consider how this connects you to all humans who have known loss. This perspective shift transforms personal suffering into compassion. Buddhist wisdom offers specific antidotes to challenging emotions. For anger, practice patience and loving kindness. For attachment and craving, contemplate impermanence. For confusion, cultivate clarity through meditation. For pride, reflect on how your achievements depend on countless others. The story of the Buddha's enlightenment illustrates emotional mastery. When Mara, representing all negative emotions and temptations, tried to disturb his meditation, the Buddha simply acknowledged Mara's presence, saying, "I see you, Mara." Without resistance or engagement, the emotions lost their power. This response, "I see you," represents the essence of Buddhist emotional mastery. We don't fight our emotions or try to escape them. We simply recognize them with clear awareness. In being fully seen, emotions naturally transform. Buddhist psychology understands that emotions aren't random. They follow patterns based on our past conditioning and present circumstances. By studying your own emotional patterns with curiosity rather than judgment, you gain valuable insight into their triggers and typical progression. Keep an emotion journal for a week. Each time you experience a strong emotion, note what triggered it, what thoughts accompanied it, where did you feel it in your body, how did you respond? This simple practice builds emotional intelligence and reveals patterns you might otherwise miss. Remember that emotional regulation is a skill that improves with practice. Be patient with yourself. Just as you wouldn't expect to run a marathon without training, don't expect perfect emotional mastery overnight. Each moment of awareness is a victory, regardless of the outcome. The Buddhist path reminds us that true happiness comes not from pursuing pleasant feelings or avoiding unpleasant ones, but from developing equanimity, the ability to be with whatever arises with a balanced mind. This doesn't mean becoming emotionless, but rather relating to emotions with wisdom. Equanimity allows us to experience life's full range of emotions, joy, sorrow, fear, love, without being overwhelmed. Like the depths of the ocean, which remain calm despite surface waves, we can develop a core stability that transcends emotional fluctuations. This stability doesn't come from controlling or eliminating emotions, but from changing our relationship to them. When we stop identifying so strongly with our feelings, "I am angry," and start witnessing them, "anger is present," we reclaim our freedom. In daily life, create small pauses throughout your day. Before meals, when stopping at red lights, before checking your phone. These moments of mindfulness build your capacity to pause between stimulus and response, the fundamental skill in emotional regulation. The Buddha compared the untrained mind to a monkey, jumping from branch to branch, never resting. Through consistent practice, we can train this monkey mind to become more stable and peaceful. Each time you notice an emotional reaction and choose awareness over reactivity, you're strengthening this capacity. Remember that the goal isn't to never feel difficult emotions. Sadness, anger, and fear are natural parts of being human. The goal is to experience these emotions without being controlled by them, to feel them clearly and respond wisely rather than react blindly. Buddhist practice offers a radical possibility that we can experience complete freedom regardless of our circumstances. This freedom comes not from controlling external conditions, but from transforming our internal relationship with whatever arises in our experience. As you continue on this path, you may notice a profound shift. Emotions that once seemed overwhelming become interesting phenomena to observe. Reactions that once seemed inevitable become choices. The space between stimulus and response grows wider, offering ever greater freedom. This journey of emotional mastery isn't just about personal comfort. It's about how we show up in the world. When we're not controlled by reactive emotions, we can respond to life's challenges with wisdom and compassion. We become forces for peace rather than adding to the world's suffering. The practices we've explored, mindfulness, compassion, equanimity, represent timeless wisdom that transcends any single tradition. While rooted in Buddhism, these approaches have been validated by modern psychology and neuroscience as effective means to emotional well-being. As we conclude, remember that emotional mastery is both a moment-to-moment practice and a lifelong journey. Each time you pause, breathe, and bring awareness to your emotions, you're taking a step on this path. And with every step, you create not just a more peaceful inner life, but a more compassionate world. The journey of emotional mastery through Buddhist wisdom isn't just about finding personal peace. It's about transforming how you experience your entire life. Imagine facing each day with clarity and calm, no longer at the mercy of emotional storms. This freedom is available to you right now with each mindful breath. If you found value in these teachings, please support our channel by hitting that subscribe button and notification bell. Your likes and comments help share this wisdom with others who might be struggling. What emotion challenges you most? Share in the comments below. Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Remember, true power isn't controlling the world around you. It's mastering the world within. Until next time, may you find peace in each present moment.